Okay, part of what goes on with taxes, you have to be aware of. Taxes are one of these things that pretty much everybody does. Not everybody, but pretty much everybody, right? Mm-hmm. It's way up there on the everybody does it list.
Death and taxes.
Yes, death. Well, that's even one of your things is death and taxes, right?
Yeah.
So it has a huge amount of kind of sticky energy around it. And lots of people don't like paying their taxes because they don't agree with where the money's spent. They don't like the fact that their pothole out in front of their house isn't fixed, blah, 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 blah. So there's all that. Feeling a little, getting in there. Okay. Then, you know, then you have the whole thing about, you know, if you don't agree with what's going on politically, then there's whole that bit that could creep in. And even if these are not specifically yours, they are wrapped in the energetic of taxes. Like we talked about, the energetic of money is one of the most low vibrational states because it's so common. So everybody of every vibration is contributing to the idea of money. And everybody of every vibration is contributing to the idea of taxes. And light workers in general have authority figure issues and don't like to be told what to do.
Mm-hmm. Not me.
Yeah. Never you. She looks around. You got to twist your hair while you look at that.
Not me. I've worked for myself for 36 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's no authority figure issues there. Yeah, so light workers in general, you know, we should add in this. They pretty much like everybody to like them. They don't like to be told what to do. And what was the third one?
Authority figures.
And they have issues with authority figures. So you add all that up into a nice little pie, and you have Uncle Sam and, oh God, the IRS. So there's another authority figure right there. Ooh. Not being like to told what to do. Seriously, we were just counting. Okay? That's all we were doing. Don't tell us what to do. Veronica's going, this is probably going to be the part for the YouTube video, and you're flipping everybody off. Behave. Okay, so we'll do it from this finger. You don't like to be told what to do, and you have to do your taxes. You have to do them at a certain time. They have to be turned in at a certain time. Everybody's got a deadline coming up. Everybody, right? And then if you owe, they tell you when you have to pay, which is really soon. Get up there and pay right now. And if you don't pay, here comes an authority figure, and you're going to pay more. And so it's ripe. It's ripe to freak you out.
I felt like I succumbed to that, you know, and I just like, okay, you win, you know, last year or 2 years ago, okay, I'm just going to conform, I'm going to do everything. I mean, I did. I paid my estimated, you know, I paid my quarterly, I paid for the last year, you know, every month. And I just felt like, wow, I really did it this year. I did it, I conformed, I did what I was supposed to, and then I made more money than anticipated, and so, another big chunk of money. So it's just like right back in it, right back completely up to my chin in it. You know, not like, okay, you know, I owe, you know, a few $100s more. No, no. Feels helpless. It just feels helpless and hopeless, and
victim,
you know, victim. Yeah, all of it, all of it.
Yeah,
come on, all of it.
So part of what's going on here is, again, and you know, you can say, God damn, this is hard, and it is. But it's like that relationship you just looked at very, very closely. Mm-hmm. The idea that you feel victimized in this relationship with Uncle Sam. What, I made a little bit extra money and now you want, you know, half of what I made extra, and how can you, and how am I supposed to, yeah. I'm a victim of you, Uncle Sam.
Okay, I've had enough.
The idea that you have an authority figure telling you what to do, and you're trying so hard, and haven't I done a good enough job for you? I can't please you, Dad. I can't please you, Mom. I can't please you, ex-girlfriend. So I'm a victim of all of your guys' preconceived notions and decisions about how I should be. And I don't like it one bit. Yeah. So, there you go. You're exploring that one more time. And to see what's perfect here, and you know, we know it doesn't feel exactly perfect, but what's perfect here is the idea that you have every justifiable reason to be just as pissed off as you can manage. You have absolute justification. Anybody who heard your story would think, oh yeah, the man, the government, you know, all of that. How could they? How could that be right? You're sure your guy got it? Every single reason in the book. And you get to choose your reaction to your creation. So if your creation was, I owe $300, you wouldn't get this opportunity to see if you're going to replay the energetic you had with your ex, and your mom and your dad, or if instead of going, I was a good girl and conformed 2 years ago, so I shouldn't have this problem anymore, or if you're going to say, okay, fine, my creation, my responsibility to react to it, and also my responsibility to receive insight about the whole thing. Now, it's very easy to say, well, there's no insight about taxes. Why? Because it feels so rigid. Like there's only one option, pay or die, right? There's like, it's those so rigid. That feeling of if I don't behave, if I don't do what they say, yeah, okay. Yeah. So what a great place to learn from. Yeah, it's hard. Of course it's hard. So is climbing Mount Everest. You know all about that. This is your way, without having to worry about frostbite, to see. You're climbing the mountain of victimhood to see, am I still that woman?
I guess it must be on my short list.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
Yeah, because it's so repetitious.
Mm-hmm. And it's a grind. You know, last couple weeks ago we talked about the sandpaper and the file and the rasp or whatever you called it. For you, it feels like you're drilling with a dull bit. You know how when you're drilling through steel with the drill press, but the bit is too dull and it just spins. And you're like, but I'm doing everything right, and it's just spinning. And it's like, maybe that's not the right bit. The bit of victimhood is never going to break through.
Yeah.
You got it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the what the fuck question that you asked us is, wow, what an amazing, fascinating creation.
Yeah.
And yeah, it hurts if you choose to go with the hurt.
It's just interesting how when it's your own really giant issue, you can't see it.
Yeah.
It's really easy to see it in somebody else in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But when it, you know, or if it's a littler thing, I could see it in me. But when it's the big one, it's like, you know, you got a little hood that comes down to here or something, you know, and you're just looking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why it's good to have people in your community who can say, okay, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
This is like on Sunday, right? Everybody asked a different question and we gave the same answer to almost everybody. But in different, it wasn't exactly like that. But it was similar to that because everybody was asking the same thing. They just didn't know it. So that's what we saw through their questions. What we saw through their questions is what we saw through yours. Oh, here she goes again. She's just going to see about this victim thing again.
Yeah, I guess the very fact that you're saying why means that you feel victimized.
It's a very good observation. Well, that's the tool, right?
Because I could say to somebody else would ask me why, and I'd say, why? Why not?
Yeah. 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 And one of in the book that Veronica's working on now is a tool from last July, and it's why, it's wow, not why. Right? So every time you want to say why, you just put wow in there instead.
Mm-hmm.
And give that a little spin.
Yeah.
Right? That's a good tool all the way from she's already sat down twice and gotten up 3 times, so let's see what she's got this time.
The thing that's, you know, and then, okay, wow.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that talk.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you're kind of muddy about it. you kind of brush over it kind of quickly. You say it and you just like hang it out there, and everybody goes, and then it's like, well, I don't know, does anybody get that?
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing about that, and we're not intending to be muddy, but you guys have to come on board with the idea that you don't have to have the answer, that you can just throw your fear out there and say, I have a fear about this. You guys have to be comfortable with that before we can take it to the next level. Because if we start in on what we're going to do with that idea, you all get freaking brainiac on us, and then it doesn't work.
Okay.
So it's a step. And we don't usually have like big steps like this. We know we usually give you a whole tool, right? In 5 words, and the last one only had 3. So that is the kind of tools you guys are spoiled and used to. And we love for you to be spoiled and used to fast tools, because we love fast tools. This one isn't a fast one. This is the idea that I'm afraid, I'm upset, I'm confused, I don't know, and I'm just going to lay it there. And I'm going to, what we said on Sunday, I'm going to open up the garage door, pull everything out onto the driveway, and just look at it. And own that it's all there. Now, there is something that we are going to take that into, but until you guys actually do that and are willing to go, there it is. Like we talked about Veronica a few minutes ago. She had this thing she wanted to change, but all the ideas of it changing to were scary. It doesn't make them bad or wrong. It just makes them scary. So I'm scared about all these. Bring it out, lay it on the driveway.
Just sit with it. Feeling.
Just sit with it. Because there's going to be a point, this is what we feel is going to happen. There's going to be a point that when you guys are looking at all your shit, laying out on the driveway, like you're having a garage sale, right? It's all laid out there. You're going to look at all of it, and a part of you is going to go, oh my God, I really am okay. And that's not an intellectual idea. This is not something you're going to think yourself into. You're going to feel yourself into. Like when we do the gate latch, that's when we feel it happen. You're going to feel into, even though there's this thing I've lied about or have hidden or been ashamed of or whatever, you're going to feel into the correctness of it. Just like you'll feel into the correctness of your tax liability. You'll feel into the correctness of the story about your ex was a better example, because you already felt into the correctness of that. You felt into the correctness of that victimization that you felt. So you will feel into the correctness of these things, and then it becomes compost instead of manure, right? Instead of a pile of shit on your life, it becomes fertile compost for new growth.